Alright, so everyone's probably wondering how good or bad is the Peavey Vypyr VIP2 amp. Well, it's not bad. It's not mind-blowing. And would it replace the amp of someone who is probably a tube purist? I don't know if that would be the case, but what it actually does when you have a Sanpera 2 hooked to it greatly improves what it does. As if you've been following my channel and my VIP2 samples that I've been putting up, you can actually see very much how the amp itself has the 30-second looper. It has the wah feature that you can only do with the controller. So when you talk about it as a two-piece hardware setup, it's rather versatile, and going on the basis of me previously owning a Vypyr 30, then a Vypyr Tube 60, and then sitting here beside it again since I got this amp on Monday is a Peavey Valve King Gen 1 112 combo, which is all tube. And I honestly haven't touched the Valve King since. I've looked at it a few times, but the VIP2 with what it offers just has actually made me stop playing the Valve King. That can be attributed to, I would say, two things: the actual Vypyr VIP2's actual quality and abilities, and what the original Valve King series actually lacked. And it's crazy. Like, the VIP2 is 40 watts, 8 ohm, and the Valve King 112 combo is 50 watts tube power at 16 ohm. And this VIP2 at 3 actually pretty much blows what the Valve King does for actual output. It could also be helped by the actual fact that it's got a bass tuning port in the back, and could also point to the actual flaws in the actual original Valve King 112 combo's design in its cabinet. That's something that's actually been known as well too. So anyways, getting back to the point of the VIP2, despite some people's opinion on needing to boycott Peavey, I've used their products for years. I've never been a big Marshall fan, and I've also I've had no real reason to look at other companies. I did actually try a Fender Mustang version 2 number 4 model. Anyways, the one with the dual 120s, and compared to what the Vypyrs did in the case of what I still had around, the Vypyr Tube 60 before the transformer went in it, the Fender Mustang couldn't touch it. Also because of the simple fact of having the tube buffer preamp and the 2 power tubes also greatly helped that as well too. Again, what can I say about the VIP2 so far? Again, I don't have anything wrong with it. It hasn't died on me. It didn't crap out on me when I updated the firmware on it, which was something that was a problem on the original Vypyr line. You couldn't update the firmware, and you also had to do it with only a MIDI to MIDI cable. This time I actually connected the printer. That's all you need is a printer USB cable with that plug end. Pop it in, let it auto update, install the drivers, and away you go. Once you do the update, and also with the USB cable, you can also interface with the Vypyr edit software, which compared to the actual Peavey Revolver software isn't that great, but with the actual software interface on the PC, it will at least allow you that if you're in a preset, it will actually allow you to screw around with the settings. So that's kind of a bit of a plus in that regard if you don't want to go trying to mess around on the same pedal for things. Anyways, again, so far everything that I've done, as you've seen, has been basically all through electric guitar only. I don't have a bass yet, and I don't have an acoustic electric yet, but that is things that hopefully this year I will be working on, is getting at least a decent bass to play around with. And I've kind of always wanted to try out bass anyways, and an acoustic electric to play through on it. But so far my impressions is that most of the emulations are pretty accurate. The bass emulation is really accurate. Like, I couldn't believe how much like a real sounding bass it was that it turned my guitar into. The acoustic sounds pretty nice. Getting back to the actual patches on the unit though, here's one of the big drawbacks with them. Unfortunately, it occurred in the first gens of the actual regular Vypyr's tube or solid state, and it occurs in this as well too, and that is you can go from a certain patch to a certain patch, and you'll notice that sometimes there will be a drop in volume, or in some instances the patches themselves actually need to be raised up in volume to hear them properly. That kind of happens with the acoustic emulations, I've found. Even though you hear over USB, they do sound very nice and acoustic-like, as they're supposed to do. So again, that's kind of my summary for the short-term kind of 1 week observation on the VIP2. Again, hopefully I can get a bass that I can actually run through to judge it further, and also an acoustic electric. One more thing that I didn't mention, I don't think, is the bass port that they have on this makes an extremely insane amount of low end. I have a light fixture probably about 8 feet away up on the ceiling over there, and if I put it on the one of the baritone or 7-string emulation patches, you can hear it going so it kind of drives me a little nuts in a sense, but that's also a lot of high gain amps going with it. So anyways, thanks for hearing me babble on over this, and stay tuned for more updates. Catch you later.